Okay, so last week we looked at WordPress. So what it is the most popular content management system used today on the internet. I think something like 40% of websites use WordPress. WordPress popularity. WordPress is one of the most popular content management systems online today since 2003. So that's 20 years. And here's the market share. So even though sometimes I mention WordPress is old and kind of clunky and kind of too big because it tries to do everything, but look at the market share. It's still a huge part of the internet. So there's still going to be a lot of companies that use WordPress and manage their blogs and websites with WordPress. Right, and some of these other ones, Shopify, Joomla, Wix, Squarespace, Drupal, Blogger, Bittrex, Magento, OpenCart, and PrestaShop. Now, some of you probably heard of some of these, like everyone probably heard of Shopify and Wix and Squarespace. Blogger, I think, is another older one. Um, Magento is more for larger companies. I've actually looked into Magento and it's pretty hard to get into because I don't know, you need like the enterprise level software which costs money to actually try to practice using, and I don't know, that's kind of complicated, but I think it's also another big one because what Magento does is it's like Shopify, except you could have like a bunch of stores. If you're a big company that you have a lot of like smaller companies, I think Magento lets you tie all of those together. So you have like a shopping cart that ties all of your different companies and websites together. Um, but yeah, look at that. It's 42%. Or what's the gray one? What's the gray one mean? I don't know, but there's a gray one and a green one. They're both a lot higher than the other ones, right? So, um, and we saw the WordPress user interface here. This is what you get with WordPress.com, but it's also this pretty much the same thing you're gonna see if you download from WordPress.org and install WordPress on your computer, or if you install it on a web host. So you're gonna have your um, little area here where you can manage your sites, see your stats, and check out messages if you have any, and comments, and set up your website and install plugins. Although the plugins right now with the free version of WordPress.com we can't really use. Maybe later we'll get to see that. Um, so I wanted to today, like we already kind of have a good understanding of WordPress is, right? You can create pages and posts. A page is your typical website page. A post is more of a blogging thing. You can have your list of blog posts show up from newest to oldest. So you don't have to have posts necessarily unless you're blogging. But pages is where you're going to have your pages that are always there, like your typical website page. So they both use the same WordPress block editor, which looks like this. If you click on any of your posts or pages, it'll take you to the block editor. And this is what it looks like. You could add new blocks with this one. This one gives you whether you're trying to select something or edit something. You could switch between those. You have your back and forward, so Control Z and Control Y to go back or undo and redo. Details just give you, I guess, how many words you've got in your blog or current page, and characters and headings and paragraphs tells you about how long it'll take to read whatever content you have and shows you how many blocks you have on the page. So this one's currently just got this one image block. That's why we see one block right here. So you have different types of blocks. They're categorized. So you have text, media, design, widgets, theme, and embeds, and crowd signal, and some other ones. But the main ones you're gonna be using your text and media, and design blocks, right? If you're trying to build your page, you use your design blocks to figure out, are you gonna have a certain number of columns, or do you want to insert a row here? Do you need a spacer to separate some content? Do you need a page break? Do you want to create a grid layout? Of course, media, there you could access your image type blocks. So you have images just like this one is a basic image, but you can also have a gallery or audio or a cover, which is going to be an image, but you can put text above it. So maybe I could replace this one. Actually, that will let me replace the image. So I want to replace the block. Sometimes you can through, so that's the caption. If we click here, it could, sometimes you can transform to other types of blocks. It doesn't really give you all the options for every other block though, but looks like for this image, we can convert to a cover. And it already kept the same image as before. You can notice it got a little bit more dim, probably because of this overlay that's on top of it. Right, so you could have an overlay. The reason why it has an overlay is because you're meant to type some text over this. So by default, it will give you an overlay so that you can dim the background to make it easier to read. Right. So if you want to make changes, you can click update to save those changes, preview. You can hit this button to go back to view your pages.
Can you show us how to do the it says you click on the photo and then you make dimensions and things like that when you edit it. How did you do that again? Yeah, on the right it says page and block.
Yeah, you have to select the image
Oh,
block, and then
to select it.
most blocks will have options on the side here. So for images, you can click the image,
Even if you
and
got the free one, right?
yeah, this is
So you
I'm using
click
the
it
free one.
twice? You
Sorry?
click it twice?
No,
You click on the image and
you,
it pops up on the right.
you just have to select it once. You don't have to double click it or anything.
Oh, how come mine doesn't come up?
Maybe, let's see. No, even if you're on select, it should still pop up. Are
Oh,
you on?
edit. I'm
Yeah,
on edit.
that it should still work. So maybe you're not clicking the image block, you're clicking something else. Because I've only got the image here, but you might have some other
It just
blocks.
shows, oh, I pressed the block and then on the right. It doesn't show.
Maybe you have a columns in there somewhere, and maybe you're selecting the columns instead of the image, because you could have an image inside a column, like this one right here I just did. So I have a column inside that. I have a columns block, and that has a single column, and inside that single column is my
So I
image
clicked
now.
on the image, and it just says replace
Oh, you might need to
at
click.
the,
Maybe you don't have this clicked. There's a
which one?
gear, the
Oh,
gear up there. That collapses this whole side menu, brings it up again.
got it.
So you need that.
You should have said that in the beginning. Gear button.
Just occurred to me.
Okay.
Okay. So
Um,
this is kind of, it's, you pretty much have to play around with WordPress to get used to how it works, and practice with the block editor if that's what you're going to use. But I mentioned before there are other ways to edit your WordPress pages instead of using the built-in block editor, because the block editor is kind of recent. You used to be able to switch back to the old way of doing things. I don't know if you can anymore. It used to say the block editor was like experimental. Now it's permanent, it looks like. But yeah, there was a different way to do it before, which was more basic. You could just add your text and throw in your images, and you'd have to use plugins to customize it the way you can right now. So there was a plugin, it's still pretty popular, called Elementor, that's used a lot. And it has similar block editor to the default one. But if you, I mean, it's preference which one you want to use. There's other plugins, but right now, because we're using WordPress.com free version, we're not really going to be able to experiment with those. Like I said, eventually we will go to WordPress.org, and then we'll have to download WordPress from here. And then in order to run it on your computer, you're also going to need some server software called XAMPP. You're going to have to install this. The reason why you need this is because it has a database, MariaDB, plus PHP, which is the language that that WordPress runs on. So without installing PHP, you can't really use WordPress. You need a database, of course, because WordPress is a content management system, and that means it's gonna manage your content for you, right? So that content has to be saved somewhere. So that's where the database comes in, right? So your usernames, passwords, your blog posts, so all the text, all the image links will have to be stored in the database. Apache is your server software. You need the server software to run WordPress, because WordPress has to live on a server, so that's why we need all of this. But we'll go over this a little bit later. It's not too complicated to set up, but this is why a lot of these web hosting companies like to brag about, or they throw it in their features list, like HostGator, for example. They mention the one-click install because they know that if they didn't have a one-click WordPress install, it might have been more complicated, because then you might have to do some of this setup yourself. But since we're not gonna really, we might get to practice on a web host that offers single one-click WordPress installs, but that means we'd have to find something that's free. Obviously, I'm not gonna make you guys sign up for a web host. So the only option I can think of is 00 web host, which is very slow and sometimes just doesn't work. But we might be able to try it there with a single click. But if we're gonna download it and try to run WordPress just on our local machine, it's not gonna be live on the internet. It's just gonna be for experimenting and trying out the features and installing plugins and stuff. If we do that, then we are gonna need to go through the complicated steps of installing this. So, but that will come later. Today is Halloween, so I don't know. It's not really an excuse, but I want to kind of take it easy today. So I was thinking today we'll watch a video on comparing WordPress to some of the other content management systems out there. Right? WordPress is the most popular, but web internet technology is always changing, so it's not, might not always be the most popular, and not every company uses WordPress. Some use Wix or some of these other newer ones. And if you're a freelance web designer or web developer, then some of your clients don't really care what you're using. So it's good to know what tools are available out there for you, right? I mean, you might not want to use any of these. You might just want to you might prefer building it yourself with HTML and CSS and JavaScript, and figuring out how to host things using things like I don't know if you'd use GitHub Pages for an actual client, but things like Amazon Web Services. Oops. So Amazon has this Amazon Web Services that basically lets you create your own servers and your own databases and places to upload images and install software. So it's kind of like a more manual way of doing what these hosting companies would do. But in return for being, more difficult to use and more manual process, you'll probably save money doing it this way. You'll save money doing it this way over doing it with WordPress.com. So basically, the more complicated and harder it gets, the cheaper it is, and the easier it becomes to build your website, the more whoever's offering that service is going to charge you, and more you're going to spend on your websites. So, and also another reason besides it being cheaper this way is you get more, you could customize it more, right? You have more control of everything. Whereas with this, everything is really in their control. So we'll look at this, and then probably give you a new assignment to just find like your own list of maybe 10 other content. 10 might be too many. I don't know if you could find 10 of them. You should. I mean, there's definitely 10 of them out there. You just might have to do some digging. Actually, where I just checked earlier, WordPress popularity. This probably gives you a good list of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There was 10 of them right there. But look for other ones. Like I don't see Weebly is one that's not here. What was the other one? Editor X. I don't know if they changed their name, if that's the same one I'm thinking of, but there's one might be mentioned here somewhere. Webflow. That's what I was trying to think of. Webflow is another one. Webflow versus Editor X. Is this the same thing, different name, or are they? I guess they're two different things. Anyways, we'll watch this video, learn a little bit more about WordPress's competitors, as well as probably get some information about WordPress here. So, sorry, just saw the chat. More on e-commerce. Did anyone show up, by the way, that I may have marked absent? I think we're still missing 2 people. Yeah, same 2 people. So, so that's what we're gonna do for the next half hour. It's a 30-minute video. We'll watch this, and then I'll give you an assignment to create a blog post about popular website content management systems. So again, content management system just means it takes some of the difficult work, the programming that you might manually have to do, it takes that out of your hands and makes it easier to manage your content, right? Like WordPress gives you this menu where you want to create a post, click add new post instead of manually typing the new HTML file or whatever you need to do to create the new page. So the upside is, yeah, it makes it sort of easier. You don't have to know coding, but the downside is now you got to learn this new system, like how does WordPress work, or how does Wix work, or how does the other thing work. And besides that, just figuring out how to customize things exactly how you want could be a little bit difficult. So anyways, let's get into this. But since I'm gonna be watching a video, it wouldn't make sense to record this. Also, I post these on YouTube, so I think YouTube doesn't like when your video has content from another video. So because of that, I'll pause the recording. But if you're watching this, you want to watch the same video, it's Website Builder Comparison 2022 Side by Side Honest Review from Peyton Clark Smith. So that's what we're going to be watching. All right, so I'll pause the recording now. Okay, so I just unpaused the recording, but so we saw that video. Now we're just going over WordPress. So things like adding custom CSS under appearance, and you would be able to do that if you had upgraded. You could add your own CSS, and you could insert class names onto your components or your blocks. Okay, like this block can have advanced, additional CSS, or add additional CSS classes. You could add whatever class you want here. Let's say rounded top left corner or something.
Oh, additional CSS class.
Wait, rounded dash top left corner. So if you remember, class names have to be one word, so you could use dashes to just connect it instead of spaces. But yeah, you would add that, and then through there, through the appearance, additional CSS, you would be able to change something. It might look like this at the end. Let's visit the site one more time. Oops, wrong site. Okay, anyways, inspect. So if this figure has the red border class on it, then I could say for red border, maybe my red border has border 20 pixels red. It's kind of thick, but it didn't save.
Inline.
Border 20 pixels red solid or dashed, right? Then you could add your own custom CSS, but you wouldn't do it through here. Obviously, I'm just doing it through here because I don't actually have access to the customizer. But back to your question about how do you change the font? That's just gonna be through the appearance usually. Depends on the theme, because again, all these themes, it's not just the look of the theme that's different, it's the way the whole theme works, the options that it has. So this theme I'm using called Kingsley, we check the
So you can
customize.
customize your own font.
Yeah, here, so it has, this one has fonts, so I could, or it tells me here that if I want to change the font, use the site editor. Okay, so this one wants me to just actually use the block editor to change the font. But some of them might have like your whole theme for the font, so throughout the website change all the fonts to whatever font. Like here we could see typography, text, font is overpass, but you have to click on the component. So this is a heading component. I have to select it, and here in the editor on the side, you have to click on typography, and then I guess where would it be? Appearance. Where did it go? Defaults, appearance, letter case tools, font family. So under font, then you could change it to something else. You could also should be able to change like the whole theme for what H1s are. Maybe like set all H1s to a certain font. It just had it a second ago. Let's see. So select the block. Here's
Mm,
post content. Where's the H1? Post title, not that one. This one. So okay, it's this one here. It says a blog about fishing. So if I select that specifically, we can see here typography. We can click on word typography and change the text font from Overpass to one of these other fonts like Merriweather, for example. Right, let's go back. So I did change it from here to whatever. Let's do Bodoni, but it might be being overridden somewhere else because there's also the option to change the font. If I click here, we also have typography here, and under these options, if I click font family, enable it by having it checked, you could change it from here. So appearance, where did font family go? There it is. So from
you also,
here, this one will override it. So
can you paste your own image from like Adobe Dimensions? Like, let's say you want to create a product design.
you'd have to upload it to WordPress.
Yeah, yeah. So you would upload it on WordPress.
That's why there's the media section here.
Yeah,
You could say add new and then just upload it from your computer.
but it has to complement with the website's theme. That's what you're saying, right?
No, you're asking how you could bring your own image. You could just add it through here.
Yeah, but you're saying it has to complement the theme because there's the theme already, right?
But image doesn't really have much to do with the theme. I mean, it does a little bit, but that's totally up to you. The themes you install don't really. I mean, if you have blank website, it might come with um, its own images, but you're meant to change those images to whatever image you need.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you just install this default template, it might give you this image, but they don't want you to just keep the image. You're supposed to change it so it makes sense with your site.
Uh-huh. But like if your image is like funky colors, it has to kind of integrate with the whatever the background color of the website is.
Yeah, I mean that's now you're getting into design theory, so it's that's
Yeah,
up
I
to you.
just wanted to take a design theories class.
That's the other one that Nelson's teaching, right? Well, it's principles of graphic design. Um,
Uh, but
they
it's
go over
integrated with websites, huh?
look, anything visual is gonna require design.
Mm-hmm. Design and integrated into a website. The website is going to be the last conclusion, right? It's the
Yeah,
concluding.
that's why there's some people that specialize in just designing a website. They don't really worry about how it works. And there's web developers, and then there's web designers that sort of do both. Maybe not so much development, but
And photos too, if
working
you
with
want
these.
photography, like Photoshop. Oh, you have to like
Yeah,
take
but
a
if you're working for an agency, they're gonna have people that specialize in each area. If you're a freelancer, then you're you're gonna get your content from your client, whatever images they want to use, they're gonna have to give that to you. You're just gonna have to integrate it. But yeah, um, it's 8:04. Let's take a break. So after the break, I think I'll check if anyone's uploaded assignments already. I'm thinking of creating create a blog specifically where you guys could post links to your sites, so we could look at them there.
Do
And
you
then,
like
huh?
Oh, sorry. Do you like using regular like web design makers like, like what we're doing right now? Or do you prefer just, from the last class we took, the coding class? Do you like doing that instead?
Well, I do that. I prefer that because I'm more of a programmer because I have
Mm.
knowledge of using the different JavaScript libraries and backend technologies. But that's just my preference. I mean, don't take my advice on that. That's a different what you prefer working on. So
Got
yeah, let's take a break. After the break, we'll look at the next assignment and maybe check out your last assignment. So I'm gonna pause the recording again. All right. So I want to redo my blog here. So far I was just messing around with this to kind of go through the features, how posts and pages work. But I want to reset everything. So I'm going to show you how to delete all your content. I don't want to delete the whole site because if you go to settings and scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see if you delete your site permanently, it tells you that this domain name will be unavailable in the future. So that's kind of weird. It doesn't let you use that same name anymore. And I don't know if that's temporary or permanent completely. But we don't want to come up with another name because um, can't think of too many other names besides CGD and WST. So I'm gonna instead go back to settings. If you scroll down above delete your site permanently, you'll see delete your content. Right, so there's also change your site address, but that's if you want to change the site address. So I'm gonna click delete your content. That means it should get rid of these posts that I created and these pages that I've created. Not sure if it'll delete these images, but we'll find out in a second. Not worried about that. Kind of hoping it does delete those. Um, Actually, before I do, let's look at if I install another theme, like for example, whatever this is, activate. I want to see if it adds its own images to my site. So I'm going to go to my pages again, just click home. We see it's still my same image that I was using. So it hasn't changed any of my images. If we go to media library, we see nothing new was added. So now let's go to settings and then actually delete everything. So delete your content. If you want a site but don't want any of the posts and pages you have now, our support team can delete your post pages and comments for you. This will keep your site and URL active, but give you a fresh start on your content creation. Oh, okay. I thought I could just click a button, but it's saying contact us to have your content cleared out. Or we could, I guess, here follow these steps. I was hoping it would just be a one-click thing, but I guess we have to follow these steps. Option 1, empty your site. If you want to start fresh on your WordPress site, you can delete all your content from your site and still keep your WordPress.com address. So how to delete, bulk delete pages, posts, categories, and or tags. Okay, well, it's pretty much, we have to do it manually. Here, I'll keep this page open on a new tab. So duplicate, go back here. I thought it would be more straightforward, but they want us to actually go to pages and then Can't even do bulk actions here. But I could, not the home page, but the other ones I can click trash. Let's see, it says there's a bulk actions, but I think that's only for posts. Not even. So whatever, I'll just manually delete everything one by one. You're still gonna have a trashed area, but in case you want to restore stuff, but I don't really have anything interesting here, so I'm just gonna delete it from the trash as well. Let's do the same with our pages. Trash. Trash. Go to our trash, then delete from there as well. Media. Let's see if we could delete these. Yep, we could. Delete all of them together, so shift select and then delete. So all we're left with now is the home page. It doesn't let me delete the home page because I guess you have to have at least one page. But what I can do is maybe just edit it and delete whatever blocks I have in here. I want to start completely fresh. And I can't delete this one because I guess you have to have at least one block in there. So that's going to have to stay. And just checking if there's any other options here to get rid of the stuff, but nope. Okay. So no more posts, no more pages, no more media. Users, well, still just the only users, so that's gonna be staying there. Okay, that's about it. I think that's pretty close to a fresh start, right? So if we try to visit the site now, it should be pretty empty. It just says home. Nothing really here. Okay. Now let's go to appearance. And let's click free here. I want to see now that I've deleted all of my content, will it add the default images for me or will I just have placeholders? Let's go ahead and add maybe this one since it looks like it's going to have 3 featured images here, or this one which is for photos. So I want to see if it'll add some content for me. Activate this design. Also, before you activate, you can also open a live demo, see what that looks like. Right, and then you could also activate from there. I'm just gonna click activate here. Right, we could go straight to customizing, and let's see. Yep, it didn't really add any content for me, so still blank. That's why I was hoping I could delete everything entirely. But I guess another option is to create because I just want to see what will happen if I had 0 content and just starting from scratch, because I believe it does add the content for you, but in this case it did not. It's just still blank. So so the other option is create another site. So I'll click here, switch site actually, add new site. and some random site I won't use again. And we want the free option. Not the free for the first year, but the free, which is this one. No, we don't want this. We want to start with free site. By the way, you guys can hear me, right? Okay. Good. What are my goals? Skip. Okay, so haven't given it a name or anything yet, but it has the default homepage and the default hello world post. And if I visit, again, empty. If we go to appearance, add one of these. Oh wait, this is $50. Let's do free. And choose, go with this one. View site. Oh no, it still doesn't add it. Okay, I thought it would add it. Maybe I'm confusing it with another website builder that would add the content every time you change the theme. But yeah, it's not really adding any new media for me, so never mind. Okay. Right, this one I can permanently delete because it chose a random name here and I haven't really activated it yet. This one's called some random site I won't use again, so that's exactly what it is. I'm gonna delete it and delete site, and I have to write this whole thing again. Some random site I won't use again. .wordpress.com. All right, cool. Now let's go back to CG and WST. All right, so I want to create a page where you guys can post your assignments. So it'll be I guess it'll be blogs. Yeah, it could be blogs. I'll create a category for blogs and a page to store those blogs. So it won't be on the home page. I'll keep the home page for I don't know what I'll put on the home page. Oh yeah, no, I guess I don't need a home page. So if you don't really need a home page, you're just gonna have blog posts. You could go to your theme and check if it lets you change what your homepage settings are, whether you want the static homepage or just a list of your blogs. You could do that sometimes through the theme, depending on the theme. Homepage settings. Yeah, so this one lets me. I could either choose static page or latest posts. This time I'll choose latest posts. Right, so if we go to my site and to test it, we see it's just gonna be a page that's gonna have my latest posts. I haven't, looks like it didn't publish the post that's there. Oh no, I deleted it. Okay. So I have to add a new post. I'll call this one 10 popular, maybe they don't have to be popular, but 10 content management systems / website builders for noobs. That'll be the title of my blog post here. So I'm gonna publish that. And maybe for my first content, I wonder if I could find icons for some of these. So let's do media. And let's do an image. Actually, is there like icons? Maybe there's small icons I could add. Not really. Okay, so I'll have to do image. So I'll do image, select image, and let's do Google Photos. I wonder if Google Photos, or no, sorry, not Google Photos. Which one was the one that gets random images from online? I think it was Openverse. They're not exactly high quality, but I think it just has a lot of images. But I want something like maybe a Wix icon if they have it. If not, I'm just gonna have to download them. But I want like maybe 10 content management systems, website builders, and a bunch of icons of all of these different tools. So we could do just Wix logo and just download it. And in case you want to choose a different color background, maybe you don't want a white background. If you change the color like a pink background or black background, you're gonna have this white box around the logo, which might not look good. So maybe look for a PNG. Although it's kind of hard to find PNG sometimes, or it doesn't have to be PNG. It could be. I'm pretty sure WordPress will allow us to upload a WebP image. It's just a different format, but maybe not as fully supported everywhere. But in case we can't find a PNG, actually, the best place to usually find a PNG for a company is from the company website itself. So Wix, official logo. There we go. So sometimes most websites have something, a page like this, design assets and guidelines, in case you want to feature their logo somewhere. They sort of make it easier for you. So, for example, Wix here gives us a page that actually not only do they give us their logo, but the Wix colors. If we want to like use their official colors, they provide those for us, and they give us a black and a white logo. But I was hoping they would have a PNG, but I guess not. Or maybe there is a PNG in here because it's a zip file. Extract, extract, Wix logo. Yeah, so they have everything actually that you might need. They even have a SVG, which is probably ideal because you could zoom in on it and not lose quality. So back to here. Let's do upload. Actually, I could just go to my media tab, go back to posts. Let me save this before I leave. Update. Go back. Go to media. Upload media. And we could just drag it here, I think. Can we? The file could not be uploaded because type is not supported. I guess they don't support SVGs, unfortunately. So going back, and let's try a PNG instead. I'll upload both in case I want to use both. My Wix logos. Now let's go look for official Webflow logo. Logos. Okay, so Webflow's got a page that we could download their logo from. And they have options. You could get just the W or the full name. I'll take let's take both. I'll take this one. But again, it gives you everything you might need, including PNG. Wait, that's Wix. Sorry. Go back, and delete these so we're not confused. It was this one. Okay, so there's a PNG. So this is the black one. Let me go back to here. Get the white one as well. Extract that one. Delete the zip folder. I don't need it anymore. So now I should have black and white. And let's take, I guess, one of these. How about the color one? Since we already have black and white, I'll take this one. Download. So this is the steps I want you guys to take, so you don't just download random Google search result images. Might not be the official logo, plus you might be led to some website that makes you download like a virus or something. So it's best to get it from the official site like I am. Cool. So I think I have everything I need for Webflow. So I'll upload those now. I think that was referring to the SVG I couldn't upload. But here's Webflow Black, PNG. Webflow Blue, PNG. Or is it this one? And the white one. Now, of course, WordPress. So I'm just starting with the three we just learned about. WordPress official logo. Let's do this PNG, white transparent, or base gray transparent. Let's do this one. Save image as, and save. Back to my media. Back to my downloads folder. There's the WordPress. It's funny, they're all W's. So far, they're all W's. So let's grab a non-W. Probably include Shopify in my list. Shopify official logo. Maybe I'll to make it easier for you guys, so you don't have to go through what I'm going through. I'll include a zip of all the logos that I downloaded, so you don't have to do this one by one like I am. Shopify official logo using our brand. There we go. Download primary logos. Monotone shopping bag. I'll go with the shopping bag. Where did it go? Not this one. PNG. Let's do the green one. Okay, well, that's enough to start with. I'm not gonna do all 10 of them, but I got a good 4 logos. So let's go back. Go to my pages, actually, my posts. 10 content management systems. And let's add these images. So I'll do image. Actually, before I do image, we need to organize this. I don't want like one big image for each one, obviously. Instead, I want to create maybe a grid or a tile gallery, maybe. No, let's do a columns, and we'll start with 33, 33, 33, but I'm gonna need more than 3 columns, so I'm just gonna choose that here. um Variation to start with 3 columns. We could add more, should be able to add more through should be in these options here. Here. So we have to actually select not the column itself, because it won't give us the option, but the columns block itself. There you could change it to how many columns you need. I think I have 4 now, so I'll just do 4. The first one will be an image block. Maybe yeah, just an image block, and I'll do select image from media library, and let's just throw in WordPress since that's what we're using right now. For my next image, another image, select image, media library. Let's do Webflow next, and then image, select image, media library. Yeah, that's Webflow, so we need Wix next. I'll take this one. What are we missing? WordPress, Webflow, Wix, and Shopify. Okay. I want this to be in the middle, so maybe I could align center. Hope that doesn't work. Not sure how to align that. Maybe in the column. Nope. Okay, so again, you're gonna run into some customizing issues. Like, again, I want to put that in the center. It might not be that straightforward. You would think this would do it, but doesn't seem to be working. We have a column. The column has an image inside. If I had custom CSS, I might make this a flex container and do something like align item center to get it into the middle. But like this, we don't have too many options here. Yeah, well, okay. Well, we're stuck with that then. Next, want a paragraph down here. So we could do a paragraph here. Having trouble deciding what tools to use to create your website. Here is a list of some popular site builders and content management systems. Maybe I could upgrade this. Instead of a paragraph, we could do a type of heading. Make it a H2 is good. And then below that, maybe then a paragraph. Or actually, below that, we could have our first one, maybe a spacer or something below it, or some kind of divider. So we know there's a block for adding a line. If we go here, we could add design separator if we needed to. Might take that out, but below that, we could have our first one here. We could say another heading. This one will be a H3. I don't know. I can make this an H3 and this one a H2. The lower the number, like the more important the heading, so the bigger it is. So H3 would be smaller than an H2. But we could start with WordPress and text align center. And maybe all caps. Alright, so let's just add the content, and then just like in HTML and CSS when we're creating something, maybe add the content and then figure out the layout later. So next I'll add a paragraph. This will be some information about WordPress. So maybe you'll go to like Wikipedia or the official website and gather some information about them. If you were gonna make this a real serious blog, you would obviously not copy paste, but put things in your own words. Figure out how to describe WordPress in here. Then you could also add maybe an image if you wanted, but let's just say could add the image later. After that, we could add another heading, another H2, or sorry, H3. Do our next one, Webflow. And center that one. And then have a paragraph describing Webflow. And don't just do, what I'm doing here, title and a paragraph. Maybe add like some other type of content inside, like maybe add a list. Just type list. Could add a list maybe here. Like some main points. Powerful, customizable, easy to use, great support. Just add some bullet points. Same with WordPress. Add something similar. Let's see. I want to add another component right after this paragraph. So going back before this one, I guess here, insert after. We can do that. Insert after, not a paragraph, but something else. I want to change this. It's not popping up to let me change it, so that's weird. This one does. This one doesn't. Maybe because it's empty. Yeah, so what other type of content could we have here? Maybe a pull quote. Or I'll just delete it and remove it. And choose a custom block, and then I'll just rearrange it, put it where I want. But let me see what other types of content we could have here. Besides list and paragraph and heading. You could also insert a table, but I don't think tables will be responsive. They might just be fixed just like regular HTML tables. They're kind of hard to make them responsive for different screen sizes. Oh, table of contents might be useful. Summarize your post with a list of headings. Add HTML anchors to heading blocks to link them here. That's probably a great idea. So maybe right after this intro paragraph or intro heading, you might want to add that. So going down here, where did it go? Lost it. Gallery, cover, media, text, no. Buttons, columns, table of contents. There we go. Okay, so table of contents. And you can see it automatically added my H1 in there. So it looks for headings and automatically adds them to the table of contents. But I don't think I could customize it. Can I? No, it's gonna keep that heading in there even though I don't want it there. But it does have WordPress and Webflow. But I mean, it's not a problem. I could have it like this. If I didn't want this to be up there, then I could just change it to a paragraph instead of a heading. And then I could just make it bold and increase the font size, make it look like a heading. Then it won't be in my table of contents. I want my table of contents to just have the different what do you call it, website builders that I want to list. So WordPress, Webflow, and then whatever comes next. Should be another heading, another H3. This one could be Wix. So it gets automatically added to our table of contents. Another paragraph after that. some info about Wix. So I would do this. Don't worry about the design at first because you are gonna choose a template, right? So it's gonna rearrange everything anyway. Why waste time designing it in the beginning if you're just gonna pick through different themes and see which one you like, and it's gonna like rearrange all of it. So just add the content. Okay, let's just put these three for now and test it out. See if clicking this actually takes us to what we choose. Okay, so here's my first blog. This is just a featured image from it, so I have to actually click on it to go to it. So 10 content management systems / website builders for noobs. Right, my 4 images, and then we have our table of contents. And when I click, it takes us to whichever one I'm clicking on. So WordPress. Actually, it's not doing a great job though. It's scrolling too far down. That's because I put this in the wrong place. Yeah, I put it. I need this to be above WordPress after this one. Oops. So going back, posts. This one I put in the wrong place. So this needs to go. This needs to go up here. Maybe above this line, right? Yeah. Also, I want to change the featured image on this. It's using just the first image, which is the WordPress image, but maybe for my set featured image, I wish I had an image of just all of them. Let me just type CMS in Google Images or website builders. Maybe there's a picture of a bunch of them together. Actually, there it was. Right here. Or one. This one. Any of these. Now to avoid copyright, if you really want to like make sure these images are cool to use, if you're gonna go public with your site and take it serious, then maybe under tools when you're searching, click tools, usage rights, Creative Commons license. That way you could only filter the images that don't have any copyright stuff on them. Or I mean, you could always take those images that you've collected, like these 3 or 4. I wish I could move this down. That's really annoying. But I can just take a screenshot of this, I guess, and make it a JPEG and make that my featured image. Right, so here, let's do this. I'm temporarily gonna make this into 2 columns. So I'm gonna go back to my columns here, make it just 2 columns. What happened to my... Ooh, when I did that, it deleted them, I think. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, undo. That kind of sucks. I thought if I just make it 2 columns, these will go to the next row, but it just removes them completely. So, what we could do is create another columns right below this one. So maybe duplicate it, right? And then get rid of the first 2. Actually, this one I'll just get rid of the first, the last 2 columns. So it's just those 2. And then this one, I'll just rearrange this, put this above this one. And wait, hold on. Undo. I want these 2, this one and this one, which are these 2 columns, to go above the other two. So I'm just going to take the last two columns here inside my second columns, just pull those up here. So rearrange, then I could select this one and get rid of the last two columns. And we kind of want to make this bigger, make this a little bit smaller. Oops, too small. Not sure why it's doing that, but just customizing it here. Let's also make sure they're all centered. Vertical centering, unfortunately, not as straightforward. Horizontal centering is fine, but making this move down a little. Maybe I could do this, add a spacer above it or something. So look for spacer, put this on top of this. I guess, yeah, we kind of just have to use a trick to move it where we want. This one could be a bit smaller, not that small. And also move it down a little bit with another spacer up here. And anyways, that's kind of want these to be closer together, but whatever. If I really wanted to, I should open this in Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop to do this. But I'm just trying to create a little image here, so I can take my snipping tool, or if you're on a Mac, I think it's Command-Shift-4 or something. Take a new screenshot of this. And then save that. I'll just put it on my desktop as CMS logos. Cool. And then I'll make that my featured image. So set featured image, media library. Actually, was there an option to upload set featured image? No upload option here. So I guess I have to go to media library and upload it from here somehow. Add new. Desktop. There. Insert. So I want that to be my featured image, not just the first one, which was WordPress. So for that blog post, my featured image will be these four. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm just gonna go back, all the way back to how I had it. Which is like this, okay. And then update. View post, and let's check out how it looks. Visit site. Oh, it's still showing the WordPress. Posts. Featured image. Set featured image. Why isn't it set? That one. Insert. Update. Okay, hopefully it saves it this time. Yeah, okay. So now that's my featured image for that first blog post. I don't see the title though. Maybe we could customize it to show our title, because right now it's just showing us featured image. But we click on it, it takes us to the actual blog. And then we could see all our stuff here. WordPress, Webflow, Wix. It's taking us too far, but I think it's because of this banner or something. Or I don't know. It's not perfect. It's taking us way too far down. Because yeah, it is taking us to WordPress, but WordPress is like up here behind this this fixed header. So some of these themes, they kind of ruin your content. If there's a fixed header, it's a problem on this one. So you need some sort of offset. So a temporary fix, I think, is to add a spacer above it. So since WordPress, clicking this like takes us, it scrolls basically all the way up here, but then there's this big header covering it, so it looks like it scrolled to Webflow instead. So maybe just add a spacer above. What if there's like a better solution, but I don't know, even know if that spacer is a good idea. So if we do spacer, maybe put that if I do this, it's still gonna cover the heading, but if I do this, then it's still gonna scroll all the way down here, so that's not gonna work really. So we'd have to pick a theme that doesn't have a fixed header to, I guess, overcome this issue. It's just a workaround. Figuring it out maybe it might be impossible with this current template. So pick a template that doesn't have a fixed header, such as, let's click, usually says here if it has like a fixed header or not. Edit the header, footer, customize template. Actually, even in my current theme, I might even have options. If I go to appearance, customize, maybe it has options for the header. Menu, homepage settings, additional CSS, content options, display. Yeah, it doesn't really give us the option to make it fixed or not. There's also the oh, this one doesn't have it. Remember that the last theme I was using had that beta version of the block editor for the theme. This one doesn't have it, so we can't really use that. So I'd have to pick a different one. Let's try this one and activate it. Edit site. Okay, let's go back to our dashboard and click posts. Actually, let me test it first. Click visit site. Let's go to our blog post here. Content management systems, website builders for noobs. Kind of big. The featured image is kind of bigger than I want it to be. I'd have to customize that, make it smaller, but WordPress. This banner is now the problem. Again, it's because we're using a free version, so WordPress is gonna be annoying and put this banner up here. Remove this site banner with the paid plan. That's annoying. Let me also try in a new incognito tab. So whenever you're logged into WordPress, you're still gonna have this gray bar up here. That might also be affecting things. So I'll do a new incognito tab. How do we do it actually? Right click. I can't see, what is this? Okay, here we go. New incognito. Well, I'm getting this update because I guess I need to update my Chrome, but let's visit the site in incognito mode so we're not logged in. Alright, so at least that top gray bar is gone. Yeah. Okay, that helps. I guess it was the gray bar that was the problem. Now when I click WordPress, it actually goes to WordPress. So maybe even with the old template, it might still work. So it's just an issue of me being logged in and this gray bar like taking up extra space. But I don't know, that last theme I had was the header was kind of tall, so it still might be a problem. So appearance. Let's try one more theme. Okay, and then let's go back here and refresh. Or not this one. This one. Right, yeah, so I think it was just because of the being logged in, it was a problem. Now it works normal. Alright, so that could be my homepage. I'm setting it as a list of blog posts. So again, if you want to do that, sometimes it's in appearance in the editor, or sorry, not editor, in customize under homepage settings. Again, choose either latest post or static page. In this case, it's going to be my latest posts. You can also do it from settings, I think under reading. Yeah, settings, reading. Your homepage displays latest posts or static page. Keep it on latest posts. So I'll keep that as my. This is basically what you guys are gonna do: 10 content management systems, website builders for noobs, or whatever you want to title it. But just give me a list of some other website builders besides, or including WordPress, right? Because kind of hard to come up with 10 of them. If you can't really find 10, maybe just do like 5. I'm cool with 5. And then I'm also gonna create another post for assignment 1. So I'll go to posts, add new post. Okay, student, or I'll just say assignment 1. Submissions, student submissions for assignment 1. And then here, I'll let you guys edit it, or maybe I'll do it myself. I don't know. I just need a link for each of your posts, basically. I'm not sure if I could embed your whole blog post in here. That would be cool. But for now, I'll probably just add a link. Link in bio. What is this? Oh no. Where's the link? Maybe I have to search through here. There should be a link, or maybe no. I just need to create some text and make it a link. So I could probably create a paragraph like submission 1 from, maybe it'll just be one of your names here, and then you could just make it a link that way. Or I'll figure out some other creative way, but that'll come later. I guess tomorrow we'll figure that one out. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but if I want you guys to edit it yourself, like actually come to my CGDN WST.WordPress.com and actually be able to come here and edit this just like I am right now, then you could basically create a new paragraph and then paste in the link to your. Yeah, I think that works great actually. If you paste in the link, it'll show a little thumbnail of it, looks like. Right, so say this is one of you guys. Oh, yeah, it's already there. Okay, so it'll show the text and then a little icon. So if we look at this, it's just a paragraph up here and an embed. Okay, so that's what we were looking for, embed. But it automatically added it, it looks like. You can remove the paragraph and leave the embed. So add an embed block or just paste your link. I think it'll automatically add the embed. Yeah. So when I just pasted the link to my WordPress, basically the link that you get from when you visit, whatever that link is, you just paste that into here as a paragraph. Oh wait, no, that time it didn't work. I wonder why it didn't work this time. I think it was a different link I had. Yeah, this one has it's actually a link to the post itself. So if it's a link to a post, I think it works. If it's just a link to the homepage, it's not gonna work. So I have to actually click the blog post and then copy that link. So that means it won't work for just your homepage if you just paste it, but for blog post it does it automatically. But I'm guessing you could still do it. We just need to manually do it. So if I wanted to actually link to the homepage and not the blog, I could probably do it too. I just have to go here and grab the link I need. So visit site and get that homepage link. Wait, this is the old one. This is the one I deleted. I don't know why it's still there. So go to my homepage, visit site. Let's publish this real quick. I think I haven't published it, so it's, I don't know, a second ago it was showing, but I just checked it again and it was okay. Yeah, this is what we want. So copy, posts, assignment 1 submissions. Okay, so that's for the posts. It automatically adds an embed, but for just a regular homepage link, as you can see, it doesn't add a link. So maybe you could manually do it. So instead of copy pasting into a paragraph, just add an embed and then paste the link into that. Although it doesn't want to do it. Made it a paragraph again. Embed. Paste the link to the content you want to display. Enter URL. Paste. Okay, well, I guess it doesn't work with the homepage. It only works with blog posts. So whatever, just post the link to your page if you don't have blog posts. Because I didn't make blog posts mandatory on the first assignment. So just paste the link to it. I'll go over this again tomorrow. We don't have to do this yet. For now, do the post about website builders. So similar to how I started this one, but again, you don't have to do 10. I think 5 should be okay. Just have a decent amount of content for it.
David,
Yeah.
we only have one assignment, right?
So far 1, but this is the second one.
Yeah, because right now I'm really confused with everything. I
About
don't know how to get there, what you've done, and
well,
I don't know. It's kind of hard to go around with everything that you have discussed.
the first one is just this create a WordPress.com website. Pick a theme, understand the difference between blog and post. Well, we could look at examples.
Well, yeah, you can give us examples, but I mean, how do you do that? Those examples. It's like, how do you arrive in those in getting there? Because I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit too
Pretty.
slow. I don't know, but I couldn't follow up. I'm probably left behind with everything.
Are you having trouble with the block editor?
So far I already have the website, but going through all those stuff that you just done, that I'm really in the dark.
It's kind of self-explanatory. You gotta just play around with the block editor. I'm guessing you're having trouble
Yeah,
with the
I
block
was
editor.
trying to play around. I couldn't arrive where you're going.
Okay, well let's go over like some
So
things
you
that might
probably
help.
just do it like step by step, like probably next time, if ever.
The problem is you can't really do it step by step because each theme is different. The way you customize it is going to be different. But what's the same as the block editor? So if you add a new post, right, you're going to have the same block editor up here. And it basically, think of it as different types of content. Do you want a heading? Do you want a paragraph? If it's a heading, what level do you want the heading? So if you're familiar with H1 through H6 in HTML, it's your most important to least important headings, right? Then you have, so first give it a title. Let's say this is assignment 2. Then choose a block. So just bring in, you're going to bring in your content as these blocks, right? You want, probably going to start with the heading.
Can I just show you what I have right now?
Sure. Let me stop sharing so you could share yours.
I'm not sure if what I did here. So I just put some bunch of stuff on this. So here's that what you were doing earlier, and then
You want me to record this or pause it? Up to you.
no, it's up to you. So I'm just showing it to you because I don't know if I'm on the right track or what.
Okay. I'm gonna continue rolling. Oh, you're sharing your. Oh, you could just share your screen, not like that.
This was my I'm using a Windows, and then my Zoom is on Mac, so I'm not.
Oh, you can't do share screen. Okay. All right. I'll just pause the recording then. So yeah, like I was saying, pay attention to this thing. Gives you a list of all your blocks. Right now it's not confusing because I just have a single block here. This is the actual title for the post. This you could either show it or don't show it. Sometimes, again, it depends on the theme. So if we look here on the side, let's see. Well, this one doesn't give us the option. It looks like, but sometimes it says, show block title. Over here somewhere, it'll say show block title or don't show it. So since it's gonna show it anyway, I can't really remove it. Probably kind of redundant to have this here again. So I'll just make this like a subheading. Or just skip to our content. We could have a featured image. Okay, so what do I have on my page right now? If we look here, it's easy to tell. We have a heading up there, which is empty, and we have this image, which is empty. Right, but click the heading, you could add your text to it. My heading. You want an image, select the image and upload an image, or select an image from your media library. So whatever you've uploaded is going to be in the media library. If you want to pick from the web, you have these options here. Say add that. Don't worry about styling it for now, like customizing it, making this bigger or smaller. Don't worry about that till you pick a theme that you're comfortable with, right? Because it's gonna rearrange it and undo your changes. So pick a theme and then start messing with it if you need to. So I want to add a paragraph. I could just click this plus sign to add another block after this one with this plus sign. I could also do it through here, through this plus sign. You can also duplicate. If you click these three buttons, the three dots, you could insert before, insert after, or duplicate, or copy. Here's a duplicated block. You want to remove it, remove. You could also remove from here. If you want actual columns, like you want to have stuff next to each other, not like this on top of each other, then you need to put it in one of these design blocks. So there's a buttons, there's columns, there's group, row, and stack. I would use the columns. I'm not sure what the difference between row and stack columns would be. Arrange blocks horizontally. We could try, right? If you add a row, so a row is basically just it's like a columns, but it doesn't have the outer columns container. It's just the row itself. You could probably still, right now there's 2 columns in this row. Actually, the second one is empty. But let's say we added an image in this one. Right. And then we add another thing in the row. Maybe I add another paragraph or something. Let's do plus paragraph. Some text. You can see it's automatically adding it into the second row because they're both inside row. If this was outside of the row, so if I pulled it out, which is kind of hard to do from here, maybe I have to put it above and I just bring it below like that. But experiment with the different group blocks that they have, or design blocks, I mean. So, I don't know, I think the columns is probably more easy to figure out. This one, if it's a row column, just know that everything you put inside the row will be next to each other. So if I add another image, like here, select image, not Google Photos, but from here, it's going to go into the same row. So now it's 3 columns because I brought in 3 things into that row. But if you want more control over it, that's why you might want to use, instead of row, columns. So you could switch to a columns from a rows. This will let you choose what you want in the each column. Actually, this one is going to be confusing because now I put the row inside the column instead of converting it. So I would just take out the content, drag it up. And just delete that row. We don't need it anymore. So we have columns, column. If you want more columns, click columns and then just increase the number of columns from here. So just don't be confused because this is columns, this is column. This is the overall container for your columns. And then depending on how many columns you defined from here, that's how many of these you're gonna have. So if I just bring this down to 1, there's only 1 in here, but click this again, bring it up to 5, now there's 5 of these. So 5 of them to choose from to drag your other content into. Let's make it, what is it, 3? So we only have 3 images or 3 pieces of content here. We have an image, a paragraph could go into this other column. It's kind of hard dragging it in there, but drag it to like the right of the column below it, and you'll see like a blue underline. That's how you know it's gonna get dropped in there. If it doesn't, try dragging it directly into it. So try dragging it like this, if that works. And yeah, it looks like it worked. So there's one column, the other column, and the other column. But again, probably add your template, pick a theme first, and then start doing customizing like that. Because I think if you go through that trouble and then go back and choose a different theme, it might undo all of that. Or maybe not. I think the themes could respect what you've done, I believe. Say we switch to, I don't know, this one. Activate. Go back to posts. What was it? This one. Yeah, we still have our 3 columns, right? It just changed the theme, so change the background color. Maybe the fonts are different. But yeah, just know the difference between a page and a post. And for your first assignment, you don't really need to create posts. You could just pick, just create pages, make it like a regular website without posts. Remember, posts are a blog thing. But for your second assignment, you know, there's no rush to complete it. If you're not done with the first one, you still have time. I could just assign the second one tomorrow. But it's just going to be what I showed you here. You're going to create another, this time not a page, but you're going to create another blog, but with a single post in there for either 10 or 5 content management systems or website builders. And just try to organize it like this. Just have some featured image. You can add some image blocks like I did here. Put it in columns again. You can see here. Right. We have a paragraph up here. We have columns. We have another paragraph. Actually, this paragraph I think is empty, so I should probably delete that one. Yeah, so columns, paragraph, table of contents, separator. That's just that line. Then we have another heading. This one's a heading 3. Paragraph under that. Another heading 3. Paragraph under that. Right, and you could see the arrangement of all of these here. You can tell what's inside what. If it has a drop down, that means there's stuff inside of it. You can rearrange it by selecting it and clicking the little arrows, or by dragging it from here. And again, you have a bunch of things to explore here. So just open the block editor, look for different blocks, just try them out. I mean, you don't have to know what it does. Just click on something like post date, see what that does. It adds this post date. You don't like it, just remove it. Just don't leave like empty blocks. Don't leave blocks around that have nothing in them, because I don't know, then it's just gonna get messy. And like this one, it doesn't have anything in it, so might as well remove it. How do I know there's nothing in it? Because when I click on it, it's highlighting this empty box over here. So just remove that one. Yeah, it's just play around with it. I'm giving you guys a lot of like extra time to just get used to it, because that's really what it's about. You're not gonna learn it just by watching videos. You actually have to play around with it yourself and experiment to get the hang of it. So there's nothing to worry about. Okay. Now let me give you the sign out code, because it's already 9:56. I was supposed to let you out early today. It's already 10. Okay, stop recording.